Hello folks, it's Miss Shepherd again. I'm here with my wibbly wobbly little screen, which you can see is a little bit bouncy. So carrying on from last week's lesson, we were looking, if you recall, at negative space, and we were drawing a series of objects overlapping, and we were focusing on getting the shapes in them, focusing on what goes on in between. And in this week's lesson, you have a bit of a choice. We could focus on the elements of stretch and challenge, where we could look at smaller sections of what we have already drawn. Okay, so this could be your first option and you might enjoy it. I was quite lucky. I'd actually left myself a page on the opposite side. So that could be to your advantage. Now I'm looking at what I have done. As you can see, it's nowhere more finished than when I last left it. But what I can do is I can still use it. Now, by one route, what I can do if I don't have ready-made viewfinders, I actually can make my own, as I showed you last time. Now I might want them fairly big, might want them fairly small. So all I need to do is take a piece of paper, fold it in half, try not wibbly wobbly the thing, and trim out a little window. And voila, but that looks more like a square, which isn't really good for what I really want. So, but I could do that. That's not a problem. I could draw squares, I could draw rectangles. Let's leave it as a square. Right, so then what I can do is I can start looking for interesting sort of shapes within my picture. Okay, and this can be looking very, very abstract. And if you've got a spare piece of paper, you can work on it separately while you have that in front of you. I'm going to sort of quickly sketch out little squares here. If you have got a spare piece of paper, by all means, do that, you know, and then you can actually add them to your sketchbook later when we're back in school. So I'm going to just draw a quick square there, and then I am just going to focus on that section. I've already got it laid out where the halfway point is with folds. I'm just going to do it there and there, and I'm going to do that there and there and there. And that's going to help me try and keep everything in proportion. So when I look, I can see already this little pink area here is already up to the halfway mark. And this, when I hold it down, is almost to the bottom. So I'm looking and I'm marking out as I'm going along. And this section here, towards here, goes here. Right, so I am trying to draw that in proportion. Okay. And it doesn't matter, again, if it's not exact at this point, I'm just roughing it out. Now, you can do several series of these, and then in each one, you can try out different media. You could try out different colours. Because this has no detail in it, you don't have to make it look realistic. You might want to stylize it a bit more. You just might want to make it that little bit different. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite quick, quite simple. And then after that, as I've shown you before, you can go ahead and sort of zippity-doo-dah, make it all a bit more like fantastic. Right, so this is just really a quick little demo of what you could do with your pictures, or your picture that you've already done, and make more out of it. They're great. I mean, if you think about it at GCSE and you're doing it for GCSE, stuff like this means that you're actually developing lots of different ideas towards a final piece. It is great. It gets you loads of marks. So, and when you're at Key Stage 3, when you're year 7, year 8, year 9, it's another great opportunity for you to test out different compositions, trying to figure out what works really well, how space is used. I mean, that might not be necessarily the best composition because you sort of got an empty middle, but you know, you can keep searching and searching, and you might find things like this that are quite nice. I quite like stuff like this. I like abstract things. It can be interesting. Almost looks like a sun, and you've got like grey bluey mountainous hills and then something cutting through like a road going upwards, looking a bit flat. So there's lots of different things you can get out of it, and there's nothing to say that when you come to doing this again that you cannot sort of add more pattern to it, yeah, or more colour or something or other. There's nothing wrong with that. So that is one sort of thing that you could do. Okay, so that's working from your negative space picture from the previous lesson. Lots that you can do over a double or 2 double periods with that. That can go on forever, and you really can investigate many ways or practice many ways working with different media. If you want, you could just do one with all in biro, and one in different coloured biros, one in watercolour, one in acrylic paints. If you've got inks, you might want to use inks, one in collage, purely collage. There's all sorts of things that you could do. If you've got oil pastels, different things, you could try it out. Pencil. If you have just got pencil and that's the only thing that you've got, right, think about all the different things that you could do with it, not just shading, but the dotting, the circles, the pattern, and all sorts. What I will do is I'll put up a sheet that should show you all different sort of pencil toning techniques that you could actually look at and apply to your work. Okay, all right.